Department of Energy. The Department of Energy was established in 1973 to lessen our dependence on foreign oil. Boy, that's worked well, hasn't it? No, it hasn't. The answer is not Washington. We do need oversight, there's no doubt. And people need to be held accountable for their actions. And some of those banks, those private banks that made those loans, should have gone belly up. They should have had to reap the reward for what they did by being greedy. But it's not the federal government's place to hold all these guys up. And it's not their place, Fannie and Freddie, it's not their place to force people to make loans and to let organizations like Acorn have so much territory and so much play. Yes, sir, go ahead.
You speak about cutting deficits and controlling spending. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid are 60% of the U.S. budget, and now that Social Security is starting to take in less than their spending, and the trust fund is basically just government promises, are you willing to cut those programs?
You know, we talked yesterday, Congressman Theo Rowe and I did, about Social Security. Congressman Rowe was from the 1st District. He's a doctor, just a brilliant man, was an OBGYN. And we talked about Social Security and Medicare. And we talked about the new health care plan, the Obamacare, that many use, robbing $550 billion from Medicare to pay for that. And it's going to cost people, is what it's going to do. Robbing $550 billion from Medicare is going to hurt seniors. Social Security, many years ago, under the Democrats, I think it was Johnson, they took the Social Security Independent Fund and they started putting that money in the general fund where Congress could spend it. And guess what happened? They started spending too much of it. And now the money that was going to take care of our seniors, they're spending it all. We need to put that money back in the independent fund, number one. Number two, we need to grow our economy. If we would get people back to work, get unemployment down, get revenue moving, we could get a lot of these things back under control. But we've got to take care of that fund and put it back where the seniors are going to be protected. But the last thing of all, we've got to keep our promises we made to our seniors. We cannot make those promises. I had a sweet dear lady in Stewart County the other day. She cried her eyes out. She is so distraught about what's happening. She said, Stephen, they can't keep cutting our money. We can't make it. But we've got to deal with it. We're going to have to make sure that we're responsible and accountable. But it's going to be some hard decisions to make. But we need to put that money back in that fund and stop spending it everywhere else. And Medicare, this Obamacare is going to destroy the health care systems we know it. I've talked to too many doctors that say that, and it's moving us in the direction of more private, free market health care system to more of a social system, more toward a public option eventually. And that comes from doctors that know what their profession is like.
I was also wondering, the defense budget is roughly almost a quarter of our budget, and Robert Gates, a holdover from the Bush administration, has been seeking to lower the budget there. Would you support his efforts?
I am not for cutting the defense budget. Absolutely not.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fincher. I was going to ask you a couple of questions. Are you familiar with Charlie Rangel?
Yes.
Okay. Do you, I don't know if you do or not, but 2 weeks ago, Roy Herring did know who Charlie Rangel was to a very degree. But he did compare you to Charlie Rangel and said that your ethics violations, what he quoted were ethics violations, were comparable to that of Charlie Rangel. I don't believe that's true, but I do want to hear from you. Who do you think a member of Congress is currently that you would compare yourself to? We're talking generalities here. It doesn't have to be anybody specific.
Well, the first thing is this. Roy Herring has made a lot of allegations, none of which he has the facts to back them up. It's political stunts to get reelected. Remember, Roy Herring is a state senator, 24-year career politician. He was running for governor. Now he's running for U.S. House of Representatives. He made that decision overnight. He was Al Gore's campaign manager for the state of Tennessee when Al Gore ran for president. Now, Roy Herring wants to win above all costs. And trashing me and talking about me is, if he thinks that's his way to get there, evidently that's what he's willing to do. I have a quote here. I'm going to read it. How many people got Roy Herron's book in the mail? Raise your hand.